Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of my new series, Rags to Riches, where I give tips and talk about money, basically. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how I earned my first $10,000. If you haven't watched the first one, how I earned my first $5,000, I'll put a link right up here and also down below for you guys to watch. You can watch that one first. I basically talk about the first couple of jobs that I had. Yeah, and in today's video, we're going to continue from where we left off in the last episode. So, what was my job again? A VIP assistant, hotel assistant. So after that job, I moved on to work at a 5-star casino. What was my job? I was a waitress again. I served wine to the guests at the casino. Like my previous job, I had to learn and study the names of all the different kinds of wines because that's apparently something that customers really want to know, exactly what they're drinking basically. Working at the casino was really fun. You get to see people play, win, lose, and there's lots of money involved. Obviously not my money, but it was nice to be able to see such unachievable big numbers on the big screens that they have in the casinos, you know what I mean? Like, so while I was pouring the wine, I would be looking at the screens. I was so intrigued. I also got lots of tips from customers, and I don't know if that's because I worked at a casino or if it's because my casino was a 5-star casino, but I got huge mad tips, and I'm talking like $50 to maybe $150 each time I got a tip, which is huge because if I were to take my regular hotel job, it would probably be like $2 to $5, $10 max. So yeah, that was really nice and fun, but after a while it got really boring, so I left. Up until now, all of my previous jobs have been hotel based. They're kind of based in a hotel. The casino that I was working at as well, it was connected to a hotel. So I left the hotel industry after acquiring the skills that I needed, and I went looking for other jobs. And I cannot tell you how easy it is to get a job after working at a 5-star hotel. The moment I told them that I've worked at a 5-star hotel, I got the job. So the next job that I got was a sales promoter for a vacuum brand. I'm not gonna name the brand of vacuum because I absolutely hate it and I will never use it in my entire life. But basically I had to talk about how great this vacuum was and basically try to convince people to buy this overpriced vacuum. For every vacuum that you successfully sell, you get $3,000. It was not easy. You had to stop people on the streets and just convince them on the spot to buy a fucking vacuum. When I first started this job, it was really hard and really embarrassing for me because I used to be very shy, and it's not easy for me to just walk up to a stranger and be like, hello, we're having a promotion today. Every single time that I managed to stop a potential customer on the street, I got rejected. I have also gotten yelled at by customers who were just basically annoyed with me. And I remember one customer, he yelled at me so loudly that I started crying. I was 16, by the way. But yes, it was very frustrating. But over time, you know, doing this job, you will learn how to be shameless and persistent, which are very important attributes to have, trust me. You need to know how to do it properly so you can kind of switch it on and off like a switch. It's very helpful. So I stayed in this job for a while. I didn't get a lot of money out of it because I didn't manage to sell a lot of vacuums, but I did learn a lot from my experience being there. Most of the people that I worked with, they were men aged 23 to 30, and I was 16, so I was basically a little baby girl, and they were very protective of me. They taught me a lot about how to work together. The next job that I had, I didn't sign up for. I was basically dragged along by a friend. I was a ghost at a special haunted house event which paid loads of money, but I didn't get paid because I got fired. So I went to the audition. Yes, you have to audition to become a ghost. Back then I've got butt length hair. I flipped my hair around and I started walking like the nurse woman humanoid figure thing from Silent Hill, and I got the job. Basically I got the job as this ghost. My job was really simple. I had to scare the customers and then return back to my post to wait for the next group of customers and then come out and scare them again. This was all very exciting to me. So when I saw my first victim come in my way, I leaped out and I scared the shit out of him, and his face was so messed up that I couldn't help it, and I burst out laughing, and I just got fired on the spot. Yeah, it was really sad. After that happened, I got my next job, which was a sales assistant at Jo Malone. That is a luxury fragrance brand. I love fragrances, I love perfumes, so being able to work with perfumes all the time, it was very nice. The way you act, the way you talk to customers has to be different. And it was really nice because you only get like a handful of customers a day, and you get to smell good all the time. Also, the luxury high-end perfume fragrance scene is one of the things that a lot of rich people like to talk about as well. So it's always good to know the types of notes and ingredients that they have in a perfume, because you never know when someone's gonna ask you stuff like that. It comes in handy, I'm not gonna lie. I have managed to strike up conversations with men and women multiple times because of perfumes. It's very easy to recognize perfumes, and I'll be like, Marc Jacob decadence. You're wearing Gucci and guilty. And then they'll be like, oh my god, yes. It's a really nice conversation starter. I do feel that people who talk about perfumes, they just seem a lot more sophisticated to me. I don't know. So after my job at Jo Malone, really nice job. In fact, all of my jobs are pretty nice actually. I went on to become a retail assistant at Paul & Shark. Paul & Shark is an Italian luxury sportswear brand. I want to say I learned the most from being in this job and my hotel job, but yes, I learned a lot being in this job as well. My superior or my store manager was a really strict Asian lady. Like the moment she walks into the room, silence, kind of strict. So yes, her name was May. Yes, I remember her. So there's a huge storeroom at the back of the store that houses all of the different clothing items, and you are required to memorize every single item that they have in store, from the materials used, like polyester, cotton, cashmere and all of that. Some customers just want to know. I've lost count of the number of customers that have come into the store and just touched something and just go like, what is this made of? And then I'll tell them, oh, that's polyester. Yeah, is it like 100% polyester? Some customers are just so anal about what they want, especially in these high-end luxury shops. So you just have to know everything. Whenever a customer wants to try something on, I'd have to run all the way to the back of the store, remember the code, find the product, and if the item is out of reach, let's say it's at the top shelf, you have to get a ladder, go up there, get the product, come back out, unwrap the product, all in less than a minute, because that is the requirement of Paul & Shark. I remember it being really tough when I first started out, but also really fun. My favorite part was folding the clothes, not in the housewife kind of way. The way you fold clothes in clothing boutiques, it's very different from folding clothes at home. It's really fun. Dress shirts and jeans are by far my favorite things to fold. You also get a really high commission from this job, which is why I like it so much. And I stayed in this job, I'd say, about 5 months before I left. I think I had a little bit over $10,000. Most of that went to savings, like I said. So I used a portion of that $10,000 to try and start a little online business. It's not an official business, meaning that it's not listed. It's not a listed company. I was 16. I didn't know a lot of things. I had no idea what kind of business I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to try dipping my toes in business and just selling things. So I started selling necklaces. I learned how to make resin necklaces, and I basically started making a whole bunch of these resin necklaces, and I sold them online. I think I do have a picture of one of the necklaces I made. It's not the best one, but it's the only picture that I can find. Back then, these kind of necklaces were in trend. So I started selling necklaces, and then I added earrings and DIY clothes as well. And basically what I did was I went to thrift shops and I kind of outsourced my materials online, and then I brought them all back home, curated them into products that I could actually sell. That actually went quite well actually. It generated quite a little bit of income. So I just kept doing it, but it was really troublesome as well because I started to get lots of orders, and these were all handmade products. So it was really difficult for me to make everything by myself. So I continued with the business, but I was also attending courses, learning new things, and meeting people along the way as well, because I wanted to find a way to start an official business, which I will get onto in my next video. That is all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.